Have you ever felt like you were meant for something far greater than what you're living right now? That quiet tug inside your chest, that deep, restless feeling that no matter how much you try to fit in, you were never made to be like everyone else. You've walked through rooms and felt like a stranger. You've tried to silence the voice inside telling you there's more. You've looked at the life around you, checked every box they said would make you happy, and still felt empty. That's not an accident. That's the sign. The whisper you've been ignoring is not your imagination, it's your divine calling. Because you weren't born for average, you were chosen for impact. Most people live their entire lives numb to their true potential. They get good at hiding, surviving, and pretending. But something about you refuses to settle. Something inside you knows you weren't made just to exist. You were created to transform. And the reason life has felt heavier for you isn't because you're weak. It's because you carry weight others never will. You've been marked for something higher, and deep down you know it. You are one of the chosen. Not chosen for perfection, chosen for purpose. There is a divine reason you faced more than most. There is a reason your heart feels things more deeply. Your thoughts run further, your hunger aches stronger. You carry an assignment, one only you can fulfill. And that uncomfortable ache you feel, that's the fire of greatness trying to break through everything they tried to put on you. It's the battle between who you were taught to be and who you truly are. This isn't about arrogance. It's about responsibility. You don't get to play small when you've been selected for something big. You don't get to shrink when you're called to lead. You don't get to give up when someone else's breakthrough is attached to your rising. You are not just dreaming of success, you are being summoned by it. You are not just curious about more, you are being pulled by destiny. And the sooner you stop running from it, the faster you will rise into it. And this moment is a reminder, a sacred pause in your day that exists to wake you up. Not just to what's possible, but to what's necessary. You can't afford to keep sleeping on yourself. You can't keep giving your energy to doubt and calling it humility. You were chosen to break chains, to build something that outlives you, to unlock the gift within you that's been waiting for your permission. Stay with this message, because the truth is what you've been searching for isn't outside you. It's buried under fear. It's buried under conditioning, but it's there. And as we go deeper, something powerful will begin to stir. A remembering, a rising, a release. By the end of this, you won't just believe you are chosen. You'll know it. And when that happens, nothing will ever be the same. You've felt it, haven't you? That flicker. That moment when something inside you lights up. When you're doing what comes naturally, effortlessly, as if the world disappears and time bends around your focus. That's not random. That's your gift. And it's been waiting for you to stop doubting it. Waiting for you to stop comparing it, hiding it, shrinking it. Your gift is not a skill you learned. It's the truth you were born with. And when you stop pretending you're like everyone else, you'll finally give it room to breathe. They told you to be realistic. They told you to stay in line, follow the script, play it safe. And you tried. You tried to conform, to wear the masks, to mute your shine. But the discomfort never left, because your gift refuses to be buried. It pushes against every layer of fear and conditioning you've been wrapped in. You were not made to blend in. You were made to stand out. And the world needs what you carry. Most people are stuck not because they lack talent, but because they've forgotten how to trust their own design. They chase what looks impressive instead of what feels aligned. But your power lives in alignment. The fire in you burns brightest when you stop chasing permission and start trusting your pull. That pull you feel toward creating, solving, leading, building, speaking, healing, it's not coincidence. It's divine strategy. God doesn't waste wiring. Your desires are the compass, and your gift is the engine. And yes, it might scare you, because stepping into your gift means stepping out of comfort. It means walking away from who you were told to be. It means risking failure, criticism, and exposure. But let this truth shake you. What's even more dangerous is not using your gift. The cost of silence is far greater than the cost of fear. Every time you hold back, the world stays stuck in the very pain you were born to change. You weren't given your gift just for you. It's your responsibility, your assignment, your way of pushing light into a world that's forgotten its own power. Don't wait until you're ready. You'll never feel fully ready, but you are already equipped. The more you use your gift, the stronger it becomes. Every step you take in alignment builds a life of deeper meaning, impact, and yes, overflowing abundance. Because when you serve from your gift, you tap into a current bigger than yourself. That's where fulfillment lives. That's where wealth lives. That's where legacy begins. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are simply being reminded your gift is still there. It never left. It's been whispering, waiting, watching. And now it's time. Time to stop ignoring what you know is real. Time to stop minimizing the very thing that sets you apart. Lean in, trust it. Because the moment you honor your gift, everything changes. If your gift is so powerful, why has the world worked so hard to make you doubt it? From the moment you started to shine, the noise began. The voices, the criticism, the subtle rejection when you didn't fit the mold. You were taught to question what made you different, to see your uniqueness as a weakness, to hide your light because it made others uncomfortable. That wasn't love. That was fear, fear projected onto you by those who never answered their own calling, but what they couldn't kill is still alive in you. Undead. Buried maybe, but not broken, dormant but not dead. They labeled you too much, too intense, too ambitious, too sensitive, but too much is exactly what this world needs. Too much vision, too much heart, too much truth. You were never the problem. You were the disruption. And disruptions are always resisted at first. But don't confuse rejection with failure. Don't confuse silence with insignificance. The world doesn't silence what's meaningless. It silences what's dangerous to the system. And your gift, your voice, your truth, they are dangerous to every lie that's ever kept someone small. Understand this. Your discomfort in the world is not a flaw. It's a signal that you were made to change the very spaces that have never made room for people like you. You are not here to adapt to broken patterns. You are here to replace them. You're not here to imitate the noise. You're here to bring clarity. That's why the resistance has been so strong. Because when the chosen rise, everything shifts. You've been conditioned to believe that shrinking is noble, that silence is safe, that blending in will protect you. But safety is not the goal. Impact is. Playing small never honors your creator. Hiding never heals your soul. And pretending to be less than you are will only leave you aching for a life you were always meant to build. Stop apologizing for your fire. Stop watering yourself down to be palatable to people who were never meant to understand you. Some won't get it. That's okay. They weren't assigned to your vision. Your breakthrough begins where you stop seeking permission. Stop seeking permission. Power lives on the other side of your authenticity. That's where your voice returns. That's where clarity pierces through confusion. That's where the gift you've been suppressing finally takes center stage. Not for applause, but for alignment. Not for validation, but for impact. You are not here to survive the world. You are here to shift it. You are not too broken to be used. You are not too late to rise. You are not too far gone to ignite. What's inside you has been kept quiet long enough. Now it's time. Time to stop silencing your own brilliance to make others feel comfortable in their mediocrity. Time to break the lie that your gift is a burden. It's not. It's your proof that you were chosen. And it's your responsibility to answer the call. You were not chosen to live in lack. You were not called to live beneath your potential, shrinking to fit a version of life that starves your spirit. There is nothing noble about staying broke, staying small, or staying silent when you were born with the power to create, build, and multiply. Wealth is not a sin. Poverty is not purity. Your divine design was never meant to operate in limitation. You were made to overflow, to generate, to lead, to expand. And not just for yourself, but for everyone who will rise because you did. Money is not the root of evil. The distortion of purpose is. When your heart is aligned, your wealth becomes a weapon for good. When your motives are pure, your success becomes a source of healing. You were not given vision so you could struggle to survive. You were given vision so you could fund the freedom of others. You can't rebuild broken systems if you can't even pay your own bills. You can't speak truth to power when you're enslaved by fear of lack. Freedom requires resources, and resources come to those who walk in obedience to their higher calling. You've been taught to chase money, but money was never meant to be chased. It was meant to be attracted by value, and your value is unlocked the moment you step fully into your assignment. The clearer your purpose, the stronger your pull. The more you serve from your gift, the more provision flows toward you. You don't have to manipulate. You don't have to hustle for scraps. You are designed to produce abundance from alignment. This is not about greed. This is about stewardship. When the wrong people get money, they destroy. But when the chosen rise, everything changes. Healing is funded, generations are restored, communities are rebuilt, impact is scaled. You cannot build legacy without provision. You cannot shift culture while stuck in survival. Wealth in the hands of the awakened is how movements are born. And you were never meant to just watch others build. You were meant to lead. So take this as permission to believe bigger, to rise higher, to walk into rooms like you belong, not because of pride, but because of purpose. There is no virtue in playing small. There is no honor in starving your vision to make others feel comfortable. You are not selfish for wanting more. You are obedient for answering the call to create more. The moment you see wealth as a tool, not a trap, everything changes. You begin to understand that expansion is spiritual. Prosperity is responsibility. And overflow is your birthright when your heart is anchored in truth. Don't settle for survival. You weren't made for scraps. You were made for systems, structures, impact, legacy, legacy. Don't let guilt or fear rob you of what was placed in you before the world even knew your name. This is your permission to prosper. Because when the chosen prosper, everything around them rises. And now, it's your turn. You've been through too much for it to be meaningless. The pain wasn't random. The delays weren't punishment. Every closed door, every betrayal, every night you cried alone wasn't the end. It was construction. You've been in the fire, not to be destroyed, but to be refined. Chosen ones don't walk an easy path because easy never builds endurance. Favor doesn't mean comfort. It means becoming the kind of vessel that can carry the weight of greatness without breaking. The pressure you felt wasn't to crush you, it was to shape you, to strip away what wasn't true, to burn off the fear, the lies, the old identities that no longer fit where you're going. Every season of silence, every moment of isolation, every time you questioned your worth, it was preparation. You're not late, you're right on time. You had to be hidden before you could be revealed. You had to be stretched before you could hold more. You had to be emptied so something greater could take its place. This is the psychology of purpose. Growth hurts. Evolution requires loss. When you're called to rise, life will confront everything inside you that clings to safety. But understand this, if it didn't challenge you, it couldn't change you. And without change, there's no elevation. You don't get to become the one without letting go of who you used to be. And yes, that death is painful, but so is staying stuck. So is wasting the gift, so is waking up one day knowing you were meant for more and did nothing with it. You've already survived the fire. Now it's time to own what it gave you. Wisdom, vision, power. The scars are not signs of weakness. They're symbols of survival. You're still here. You're still standing. That means there's still purpose in you. There's still ground to take. There's still territory to claim. And everything you went through wasn't just for your healing. It was so you could lead others through theirs. Your pain has become your blueprint. Your past has prepared you for platforms. Your wounds have unlocked empathy, and your resilience has carved out a strength that can't be faked. This isn't about pretending you're fine. This is about using the very thing that tried to break you as the fuel to build what no one else could. You felt the weight of life so that you could carry the weight of impact. Stop asking why it had to be you. It had to be you because you wouldn't stay down, because something inside you kept choosing to rise. And now that you've survived what was meant to destroy you, it's time to become what you were created to be. The fire wasn't the end of you. It was the beginning. What's coming next isn't punishment. It's your reward. Your pain wasn't pointless. It was prophecy. And now it's time to walk in the power you've earned. You've paid the price. You've walked through the fire. But none of it matters if you don't believe. Power without belief stays buried. Potential without conviction stays unused. You can have the vision, the gift, the calling, but until your mind agrees with your destiny, you'll keep circling the same mountain, wondering why nothing changes. Belief is the doorway. Without it, you stay locked out of the life that was already written for you. Not because you're unworthy, but because you never fully claimed it. Doubt is the most effective prison ever built. It doesn't need bars. It just needs repetition. A whisper in your mind, saying you're not ready, you're not good enough, you're too late, too flawed, too broken. But those thoughts aren't truth. They're programming. They're echoes of voices that never knew your potential. The world taught you to be cautious with your own brilliance. It taught you to prepare for rejection instead of expecting favor. But what you believe determines what you allow. And when your beliefs are small, your life follows. The world bends not to who you are, but to who you believe you are. And you've got to stop walking like a stranger in your own promise. You were created to move with power. You were designed to speak with authority. You were wired for greatness, not just in talent, but in identity. You have to believe it even when no one else does, especially when no one else does, because chosen ones are often called before they're recognized. You must see the truth before it's visible. This is the turning point, when you stop waiting for someone to validate you and start validating yourself. You're not arrogant for believing in your calling. And once your discipline catches up to your vision, momentum takes over. Heaven moves with the focused, and now so must you. Discipline sets the foundation, but strategy builds the structure. You can have belief, you can have fire, you can have relentless drive. But if you don't aim your energy with precision, you waste your potential chasing noise instead of building legacy. There is no power in movement without direction. There is no impact in chaos. Clarity is your advantage. Alignment is your weapon. You are not here to stay busy. You are here to be effective. Your purpose is too specific to be pursued with randomness. You must step back and ask, where is my gift needed most? Where can my voice shift the atmosphere? Where can my solution break the cycle? Strategy is how you honor the gift. It's how you take the divine and turn it into results. Without it, you'll spend your life working hard on the wrong things, stuck in survival mode, mistaking movement for progress. But when your strategy matches your calling, you become unstoppable. Your time starts multiplying. Your actions compound. Your decisions become surgical. Focus becomes your shield. You must become obsessed with alignment, not just doing what works for others, but doing what works for your assignment. You're not here to fit in. You're not here to copy. You're here to carve a new lane. That requires precision. That requires courage. That requires walking away from what's comfortable and stepping into what's custom. Strategy means having the discipline to say no to distractions, even when they look like opportunities. It means being loyal to vision, not emotion. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. You are the moment. Start with what you have. Map it out. Define the target. Set the structure. Remove the noise. Make space for focus. Your destiny isn't hiding from you. It's waiting on you to move with intention. You don't have time to keep trying. You don't have energy to waste proving your worth. Let your results speak. Let your alignment reveal what your words don't need to explain. The world doesn't reward effort. It rewards outcomes. And outcomes are created by those who move with clarity. You are not scattered. You are not confused. You've just been stretched in too many directions that were never yours to follow. Bring it back to center. Anchor into what you're called to do. Build systems that protect your purpose. Make your calendar serve your vision. Put your energy where your impact lives. Success isn't mystical. It's mathematical. It's repeatable. It's strategic. And when you combine supernatural purpose with practical precision, the results are undeniable. You don't have to chase anymore. You don't have to force. You just have to align. Not because you begged, but because you became clear. Clarity attracts, strategy sustains, vision expands. This is how the chosen rise, not by guessing, but by designing. The life you're called to build doesn't need more hype, it needs a blueprint, and you're ready to follow it. Blueprint without action is just a dream. You can have the clarity. You can know your calling. You can feel the fire, map the plan, set the goals. But if you don't execute, nothing changes. Vision without movement becomes frustration. Desire without discipline becomes delay. The difference between potential and legacy is action. Not the kind you do once, but the kind you repeat until the breakthrough comes. Consistent, intentional, unapologetic execution. That's what separates the dreamers from the builders. That's what separates the crowd from the chosen. You will never feel fully ready. That's not a flaw, it's part of the test. You're not called to wait until the fear leaves. You're called to act while it's still there. Faith isn't about confidence, it's about commitment. You move even when your voice shakes. You build even when the outcome is uncertain. Because the power is not in perfection, it's in persistence. The moment you act, the energy shifts, clarity sharpens, courage multiplies. Results begin to chase the person who decided to stop hesitating. Action reveals what planning can't. You don't grow by thinking about it, you grow by doing it. You find your rhythm in the motion. You learn in real time. Progress is built in the messy middle, not the perfect beginning. Stop waiting for the ideal conditions. Stop rehearsing every outcome in your mind. The moment is never going to announce itself. You make it right by moving in it. Start now. Start small. Start afraid if you must, but start. Momentum is a decision. You don't get it by wishing. You get it by working, by making the call, writing the email, creating the content, launching the idea, having the conversation. Showing up again and again and again, even when the response is quiet, even when no one claps, even when you question whether it matters. It does, because every action compounds, every step builds something, and eventually the ground you've been tilling in silence begins to bloom. You weren't called to build your life around your emotions. You were called to build it around your values. Your feelings might change, but your mission doesn't. And the chosen understand that nothing moves until they do, that the floodgates of provision open for the ones who show they're ready. Execution is a signal. It tells heaven, I'm serious, I'm ready, I'm trustworthy with what I've been given. This is where the shift happens, when you stop talking about potential and start proving it, when you stop looking for signs and become one. You don't need more time, you need more courage. You don't need more advice. You need more action. Everything you've asked for is on the other side of what you're avoiding. And the moment you move, mountains respond. Doors open, favor finds you. Not because you waited, but because you walked. Chosen ones don't just carry vision, they activate it. And now, so must you. Success demands sacrifice. It asks you to give up what's comfortable to gain what's extraordinary. The chosen understand that comfort is the enemy of growth. If you want to unlock your full gift, you must be willing to leave behind the familiar, even when it feels safe. Every moment spent settling for less than your potential is a moment stolen from your destiny. Sacrifice is not loss, it's investment. It's the currency you pay to upgrade your life, your purpose, and your impact. You must examine what you're holding on to that's holding you back. Old habits, toxic relationships, limiting beliefs. These are chains disguised as comfort. They whisper lies that keep you small, quiet, and predictable. But freedom is on the other side of letting go. The pain of sacrifice is temporary, but the reward is eternal. The discomfort you face today will be the foundation of your power tomorrow. You cannot rise while dragging weights that belong in your past. Sacrifice requires courage, the courage to face loneliness, rejection, and uncertainty. It's the willingness to walk a path you dare to tread because you know the prize is worth it. Chosen ones don't make decisions based on how easy they are, but on how far they take you. You must be ruthless with what no longer serves your growth. This is not selfishness, it's steward. You are stewarding your gift, your life, your mission. What you protect expands. What you release transforms. Sacrifice also means prioritizing your future over immediate gratification. The world constantly tempts you with shortcuts and distractions. It promises quick fixes and easy wins. But these are traps that steal your power. True greatness is forged through delayed gratification. It's built in the quiet moments of saying no to the easy and yes to the necessary. Every sacrifice made is a seed planted for a harvest beyond what you can see right now. Understand that sacrifice isn't only about what you give up, but about what you gain. Clarity, focus, resilience, and freedom. When you clear the clutter, your purpose becomes sharper. When you cut ties with distractions, your energy channels to what matters most. When you embrace sacrifice, you break cycles of mediocrity and open doors to extraordinary opportunity. This journey demands your all. It calls for unwavering commitment, the kind that says, I'm willing to lose comfort, status, even approval to become who I'm meant to be. This kind of sacrifice creates leaders who don't just survive but thrive, who don't just exist but inspire, who don't just follow destiny but shape it. You must ask yourself, what am I willing to sacrifice today to unlock the billion-dollar potential inside me? You've already been chosen. Now it's time to prove it, not with words, but with the sacrifices you make daily. This is the price of greatness, the path of transformation, the gateway to your gift. Comfort may feel safe, but it will never make you rich in purpose or power. Sacrifice is the bridge from who you are to who you were born to become. Cross it with faith, with courage, and with relentless determination. Your gift is waiting on the other side. The power you seek is already inside you. It's not waiting in a distant place or with someone else's permission. It's in your breath, your heartbeat, your conviction. This power doesn't come from circumstance or chance. It comes from the deep, unshakable knowing that you were born to rise. The chosen ones are not chosen because they are perfect. They are chosen because they refuse to remain powerless. They claim their strength, even when the world tries to diminish it. Every thought you entertain shapes your reality. Your mind is a battlefield where your future is won or lost daily. Negative beliefs and fears can paralyze you, but they only have the power you give them. Your job is to refuse those lies, to challenge the stories that tell you you're not enough, not capable, not ready. Reclaim your mind by flooding it with truth. Truth that says you are equipped, prepared, and empowered. Truth that says your gift is vital and the world needs it now. When you speak to yourself with kindness and conviction, you become your own greatest ally. Your inner dialogue must reflect the greatness within you. Affirm your worth. Declare your purpose. Refuse to accept less than what you're capable of, because your mind will believe what you say more than what others say. If you repeat your limitations, they will become your reality. But if you declare your power, it will start to shape your world. Your mind doesn't just create thoughts, it creates futures. Your emotions will rise and fall, but your commitment to your power must remain steady. Don't allow fear or doubt to steal your authority. You are not a victim of your feelings. You are the master of your spirit. Every time you refuse to give up, every time you speak life into your purpose, you strengthen the foundation of your power. This is where transformation begins. When your mind, your heart, and your soul align behind your calling, the energy you carry influences everything. When you walk with confidence, when you speak with authority, when you hold your head high knowing you are chosen, you radiate power. Others feel it. Opportunities are drawn to it. Doors open because power demands attention. But power is not loud or arrogant. It's quiet, steady, unyielding. It's the calm in the storm, the peace in the chaos, the fire that burns without smoke. You don't need permission to be powerful. You don't need approval to walk boldly into your purpose. Your power is your birthright. It is the force that moves mountains and changes lives. You were created with authority over your destiny. Claim it now. Feed it daily. Protect it fiercely. When you do, the world responds with favor, resources, and relentless momentum. You become unstoppable because your power is anchored in something unbreakable. This power is the core of your billionaire potential. Not just wealth in dollars, but wealth in impact, influence, and legacy. When you unlock this power, you step fully into who you were made to be. You stop shrinking. You stop doubting. You stop waiting. You rise. And when you rise, you carry others with you. You fulfill the promise of being God's chosen, equipped, empowered, unstoppable. Your time is now. Your power is real. Step into it fully.